Hello people, Suffolk Sport Glide Rider here. In all my videos, please remember that I'm not a professional filmmaker or videographer or whatever you want to call it, and I'm not a professional mechanic either. I'm just surprised at some of the jobs that people take their bikes to garages to get done. I know there are some people that don't like to get their hands dirty, and I fully understand that. So in my series of videos, just to show how some simple jobs can be done at home, saving a bit of time and money, and the satisfaction that you've done it yourself. Thanks for watching. So here we are again people. What we're going to do now is replace the timing cover. What's called the timing cover. The standard comes with a nice Harley Davidson Milwaukee 8 cover on it. However, as this was a 2018 year, and 2018 was the 115th anniversary of Harley Davidson, I've gone and bought the 115th anniversary cover to go on there, which is quite nice. It's just got blue around the outside, Harley Davidson 115th anniversary. If you're interested in this, it is Harley Davidson part number 25600105. That's 25600105. Only 2 screws. Called a timing cover because in years gone by there would have been points and condenser under there, which then provided electric current to the coil and then to your spark plugs. But in these days of electronic ignition, we don't need that. So that is just a blanking cover for decoration purposes. And behind there, I think we should find just a solid lump of metal there. There's nothing behind there at all. So let's find what tools we need and get on with it. Okay, so what we need is a size 20 Torx bit. So only a tiny little one, because they're only tiny little screws. Size 20 Torx bit. And these won't be very tight. I have got the torque settings for these, and it's only 25 to 35 inch-pounds, so not tight at all, just tight enough to hold in. As I say, it's purely decorative. I haven't gone into a lot of bling on this at the moment, but I think the 115th anniversary cover is, yeah, I think it's fairly important, you know, just to mark the bike as being made in that year, rather than any of the other years. There you go, 2 simple screws, 1 tinny metal plate, and as I said, behind it I knew it would be totally blank, nothing at all there, because we don't have the electronics in there these days. Let's give it a wipe round, a little bit of dust in there. So like everything these days, overpacked to the extreme. Oh, here we go. So yeah, like the other one, says Harley Davidson. The old one said Milwaukee 8, which was pretty good, but the new one says 115th anniversary in blue writing. So we'll just pop that straight back in. Now it does come with new screws, and the new screws are in fact a hexagonal head. I think I will put the new ones in purely because they're black. Mind you, the silver looks pretty good, doesn't it, really? All these decisions. I'll stick with the originals for the moment. Make a decision later. You know me, always put blue Loctite on stuff, but I haven't done on these. I don't know that it really needs it. I'll put a bit of blue Loctite on there when I decide which screws I'm going to keep in there. Whether it's the original Torx bits or the ones that come with it, which are hexagonal bits. They do like to keep us confused, keep us on our toes. grab the torque wrench. Okay, and as I said just now, it's 25 to 35 inch-pounds, so we'll do it sort of just over the 30. And that's about 32 inch-pounds there. As we just said, it's not a lot of torque. I should have checked what the instructions with the new cover show. Yes, it is the same, 25 to 35 inch-pounds. There's the first one. There's the second one. So, quick and simple job. As I say, a little bit of bling. I don't go in a lot for all this bling, but something to mark the anniversary, I think, is a little bit extra special. Not cheap though. You'll find that little plate there has cost £40, which is ridiculous really, but I quite like the look of it. Right, let's move on to the next bit. Okay, having done the timing cover, next bit to cover is the air filter. Obviously the air filter is all open to the elements, so you do need to get a rain sock for it, a rain cover. Now if you look on the Harley website, there is a part number on there for the extreme flow air filter, the rain sock, and it is wrong. I've checked it twice, even the dealer ordered it under that part number, and it turns out that part number has been superseded. So what you do need is Harley part number 294000363. That's Harley part number 294000363, and you then get a nice Screaming Eagle net basically to go right over the filter in case of extreme weather, which we do get a lot of in this country, and it will fit all the way over. Yeah, I was worried when I first got it, it didn't have a bit of mesh here because I didn't have my glasses on, couldn't see through the plastic bag, but it does. So yeah, it's a nice nice rain sock to totally go over it. It fits right over the filter and over the edge of the backing plate, so it holds it in place hopefully. And then that will stop a big ingress of water getting in. Okay, so for those of you who watched my earlier videos, you know that I fitted a docking kit so that I can then fit sissy bar with backrest or a rack with a box. So what I've got here is the TourPak 2-up rack. The idea being I can get the rack on there with a box on top, and then we're good for the weekends when we go away and need a little bit more luggage space, and comes in the 2 panniers. Genuine Harley Davidson rack, and you want to know the part number. Okay, TourPak rack, or the official hold-fast attachable 2-up TourPak mounting kit. Anyway, the TourPak rack is part number 50300192. That's Harley Davidson part number 50300192. And you get this beautiful rack for that money, for that number. You have to have already had the docking kit fitted, so don't forget that. Docking kit fitted first, and then we can slide this in. hopefully, very careful so you don't bash your mud guards. For once I might be better take my glasses off. And you have to pull this to release it, and then it gives you the hole where it will slide down onto the rear mount. And then click into place just like that. Hopefully there's going to be no rattle, so let's give it a shake. That is bloody marvellous, absolutely solid. If you remember from the early one where I put the docking kit in, I said, you know, sometimes there's a slight rattle, so you have to adjust the bobbins on that. But there you go, one TourPak rack fitted. Ready to take the box. Now then, if you intend riding around with a rack and a box on all the time, I would suggest, yes, you buy the proper TourPak box that goes on the back. I do not intend doing that. I am purely using this when I'm going away for rallies, camping, etc. Now the TourPak box to go on this is in the region of £500. A lot of money for a box. So here we are, as I said, Givi, it's Italian, but however you want to pronounce it. That's a multi-fit plate that supposedly will fit on almost any rack going, with all the accessories they give you. You can see a waffle pattern, and you can put the attachments and screws through any of these. So hopefully if a couple of them line up with the holes on here, we'll be quidsing. I'll probably have to put the box on it, sit the missus on there, and see how she feels. We don't want it pushing into her back. But the boxes, the rack is standard, comes with 4 slots in it, because the TourPak box, it gives you, I think it's about 1.25 inch movement. You can move backwards and forwards, but obviously on this plate, once I've fitted it on there, that's it fitted. And in actual fact, it doesn't look like those holes match up with the holes in here, so I will have to carefully mark and drill 4 holes in here to take the 4 mountings on this, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping that those other holes would have matched up, but they don't. They're actually under these bits under here, so no good trying to fit it on there. Not to worry, I'll quickly show you the box that I'm putting on, so I'll give you some idea. As I said, it's quite a large box. In litres, I don't know how big the Harley's TourPak box is. It's quite big, but whether it's as big as this, I don't know. But my biggest thing was spending £500 on a box to put your socks and spare t-shirt in, whereas this was £200 and £40 for the plate to go on the rack. So it saves me £250 to do other things with. You can see that's a big old box, and it just attaches onto the plate on the rack. Yeah, it just attaches on the plate on the rack, so it will then sit there like that on the back. I think it's a nice design box and goes quite well with the bike and the slimline features on it. as I say, big box, lots of t-shirts and knickers and socks for the weekend. And yeah, so I'll have to get on now and drill a few holes on that, but I'm not going to bore you with that because most of you probably won't be getting this design box. If you are, let me know and I'll give you the part numbers, etc. If you are interested in this sort of box, it's Givi, as I said, G-I-V-I, and it is say Victor 56 November Tango, Victor 56 NNT. That's the model of box that is. That's if you're interested in that and saving a bit of money as opposed to the Harley one. I say, if you're going to ride with the box on all the time, yeah, maybe you might prefer to get the Harley one. But I think that, you know, the black and the silver on that, I think it goes quite nice with the rest of the bike. As you can see, the rack itself is a lovely black powder coated, perfectly matches in with the black of the rear mudguard. Okay, as I said, I'm not going to fit the proper Harley TourPak box. I'm fitting a Givi one, Givi. So to do that, you need to attach a plate onto the rack. Now the way it comes with various attachments. Comes with a set of attachments, the idea being that this plate would go underneath the existing rack to hold up against what would be bars, whereas obviously this doesn't have bars. What I have discovered is that the front, I'm going to mount one of these bars which goes across angles on both sides of the front, but at the back I've decided I wanted actually slightly wider and drilled into the metal. So quick tip, if you've got to drill into solid steel, put a bit of, this is just electrical tape, but gaffer tape, duct tape, even sellotape, because then when you start drilling it stops the drill sliding all over the place, because this is a nice highly polished powder coated paint on there, and if you don't stop the drill slipping you'll end up with scratches all over the place. So that's a tip I've picked up over the years. Put a bit of tape on there, carefully marked where you're going to drill, and then go ahead and drill, and it's not going to slip all over the place. Drill a tiny pilot hole just to start with, just to, you know, get the hole started, then switch to the proper size drill that you've checked against the screw. It's going to be almost the right size for the screw to go all the way through. It can always be slightly enlarged if needed. Once it starts going, turn up the speed a bit. I did say this is hard steel. And obviously very important working on the bike to make sure the drill bit, when it does break through, isn't going to come down to the mudguard. I've only got a short bit on here, so it's plenty of clearance. But if you only had a longer bit, well, you'd have to put a block of wood or something under there, or take the rack off and support it somewhere else. But I left the rack on there because it's a nice stable bed for the drilling. Just about to come through. There it is there. Okay, next size up drill bit. It's just a matter of slightly enlarging the hole. Simple as that. No pressure on the drill then, it just cuts its way through quite easy. So, screw fits in nicely. Carefully take the tape off. Quick flick of the duster to get any metal filings off of there. I do have spray on underseal stuff, so I'm just going to put a daub of underseal in these holes where I've now got bare metal. We don't want bare metal there, do we? You know, it's open to corrosion then, so I'll put a bit of underseal on there, make it nice and rust proof. Bit of masking tape over the holes, and then I've just put some underseal body sealer in there, so it's stop rust proofer. So I'll leave that for a couple of hours to dry now. So I was getting carried away. I've just taken the rack off to fix the plating. It comes with these hooks that go over a standard rack, but obviously this being a solid square rack, yes, the two at the front I'm going to position so it goes crosswise across the corners, which I could have done the same at the back, but I wanted to actually drill a couple of holes into the metal to make it even more secure. So on the rear two, I've drilled 2 holes in there, and so they will be firmly mounted against the actual rack itself, and not just relying on 2 corner brackets clamping onto the metal like it will be there. So it will be solid as a rock, and then once that's on there, rack pops on, box slides on, Bob's your uncle. So on the top we've got a 5mm or size 5 hexagonal screw, and on the bottom it's a 10mm nut. So socket on there, hex in the top, and away you go. So I'll just finish tightening that up. Okay, so there we go. The Givi plate nicely attached onto there. 4 solid nuts and bolts underneath, so that is not going to move. So the only other thing to do when I put the rack back on, there is a plate that then goes on top of that. It pops in and then it screws in 4 places, so it's a nice smooth finish. Just makes it look a little bit better, and plus you can't then get to the Allen head bolts to undo it again. So nice and carefully, without damaging the mudguard, so you can slide that back in again. We'll wiggle on the front mounts to get them to pop in, and on the back, there we go, solid as a rock. So that pops into place. There are 4 screws to go in there. Just show you what that looks like. So yeah, once it's on there, looks good. I'll screw the plate in, and then I shall stick the top box on properly to show you what that looks like. Pushing the limit of my toolbox, these are, because these are tiny little grub screws, the smallest Phillips I've got, absolutely tiny. And they just pop in the hole. There's little self-tappers, but the hole's already half drilled. As I say, it's partly decorative because it does finish it off. Partly decorative and partly to stop anyone getting to the bolt heads to unbolt the plate from the rack. but that's not going to happen. Never happened on my previous bike that I had, so can't see why it happened on this one. Okay, 4 little grub screws, totally countersunk, nicely in there. Right, let's get the box out and fit that on. Okay, here we go. So you know how the rack pops on, just pops on, and basically the box will do the same onto the rack here. Let's take this plastic off. You have 2 mounting lugs here and one at the front, which is also the lock. So you slide the 2 back ones in, click it down at the front, and we're sorted. Yes, that's it, good old push down. Now what I like about the Givi, move the camera out. Now what I like about the Givi set, they call it the mono key, because it comes with 1 key. So with that 1 key, it's locked on there, that now won't come off. So you need to use the key, and then you would press that to get the box off. By turning the key just a 1/4 inch further, you then come up with a handle. So you then take this off as a suitcase. Under here, another press button, press that, top comes up. And I'll lift the camera up now and show you what a huge box it is inside. So I say it's called the Givi 56 because it's a 56 litre box inside, and it is huge, complete with plastic or plastic and rubber mat to go in the bottom. There's all sorts of crap come with it. First time I've had this open. All that crap out of the way. So yeah, it's a big old box, the old luggage strap, the same as you get in suitcases. Easily take 2 full face helmets, that, but as I say, for weekends away, camping or in hotel, that's going to take just about everything we need. Get off the bike, you've got a big suitcase to carry in. It's a great bit of kit. So I had one for many years on my previous bike. You know, that's a great box, 56 litre mono key. Yes, you can get backrest to go on the back there, so we will think about that if the girlfriend decides she needs a backrest. But yeah, for weekends, that's ideal. So yeah, just tidy up now, get the labels off and everything else. But yeah, it's not going to be on there permanently. I should then take the box off and the rack off. But if I get a chance with the weather, I'll do a quick bit of video outside so I can get daylight view of it a bit more and see the whole bike in one go. Right, job's a good one. Chat to you later. Okay. Rain stops, sun's out, so get the bike outside. I put it in the wheel chock purely so you can see what the bike, you know, okay, the front wheels are a few inches higher there. It gives you an idea of what the bike looks like upright with the box on the back. Yeah, I think the colour of it blends in fairly well with the black and the silver of the bike, really, the black and the chrome. So it blends in quite well. I think it's a cracking looking box, really, and nice and big, really does the job. Fits perfectly, and I've left the gap there in case the missus wants to lean back a little bit, and we can see about putting a backrest on the box, but she's got plenty of room there now. Lovely big seat for the passenger. All in all, the bike's looking pretty good, I think. We're now on about the 21st of March, I think, 21st of February. Weather's cleared up, but I can't believe we've got over winter yet, so I'm sure there's going to be more to come. So just have to keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, 2 weeks time I'll be out at a bit of a rally, so we'll see how the weather goes. Hopefully it's going to stay dry, warm, because we don't want any more salt on the bloody roads. But at the moment, that's the box. Looks pretty good, I think. Certainly the colour of it complements the colour of the bike in general, black and silver, black and chrome, however you want to say it. So for the moment, job's a good one. Take care people, and catch you next time.